What's up guys, it's TheCasualAussie back again for another Digimon TCG video. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys my Titamon deck profile for the Set 1.0 format. So let's just jump right into it because we have a bit to talk about as this is one of the first green decks I'm doing on the channel. Starting off with the DigiX, we play 4 copies of Tanamon and then 1 copy of Frymon, whatever it is, we play 1 copy of it. So with Tanamon, it gives you an extra 1000 DP if you Digivolve this turn when your Digimon is attacking. And then with Frymon, while your opponent has 2 or more suspended Digimon in play, this Digimon gains plus 2000 DP. So they are power boosters. I do like Tanamon in this build because you are going to be Digivolving quite quickly rather than suspending your opponent's Digimon in something like a Rosemon control style deck. So yeah, that's why I love them. I've considered playing 2 and 3, 2 Frymon, 3 Tanamon, but I do like this ratio more because I do enjoy seeing the Tanamon just a bit more than the Frymon. Moving on to the rookies, I play 4 copies of Agumon, 4 copies of Tentamon, 3 copies of Goblimon, and then finally 2 copies of Palmon. So with Agumon is essentially like the starter deck of Agumon where it gives your Digimon 1000 DP during your turn. Really nice 4 same stats as the starter deck of Agumon actually, which is quite interesting. I do love that Green has this card in itself because the Green Digimon, with the exception of power boosts like Tanamon, Frymon, Agumon, Kabuterimon, they're all a bit on the weaker side, so having cards like this to boost them up is quite nice. Then we have Tentamon, who has an inheritable when attacking one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less is suspended. It's just a nice card. I do love Tentamon. Izzy is my favorite tamer from the anime, so it feels good to be playing a deck with Tentamon in it. Not gonna lie. And then Goblimon, 2 cost a hard play. That's really all it's here for. He is probably one of the better rookies in red. Not in red, in green, sorry. I don't know where red came from for a second. But yeah, it's just a really nice card. 3000 DP, still dies the Volcandramon, but hey, true to play to lock your opponent in on 1 to 2 memory. Palmon's on play effect is reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 level 4 Digimon among them to your hand, and place the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. I do love this card at 2. 2 is really all I need for the deck. You have plenty of ways to get extra Digimon like Izzy, Mimi. You have ways to turbo through your plays. So just a 2 of hardcore effect is really all I need. I am playing 13 rookies, which is 1 less than the usual 14 I like to play. But hey, it has been working out so far and I'll continue to test it and hopefully update this deck in the future. Next up, moving on to the level 4s, I play 4 copies of Woodmon, 4 copies of Kabuterimon, and then finally 4 copies of Vegemon. So let's talk about these guys real quick. Vegemon is just the cheap 1 cost to evolve into. He's essentially the Dark Tyrannomon of the deck, if you're looking for a comparison, if you're a red player like I am. And then Woodmon is the 6k blocker of the deck, 2 costs to evolve into, the most expensive champion to evolve into. But hey, that's quite alright. Having that blocker is quite nice, and it's a mandatory for him, especially this early in the game. And then we have Kabuterimon with the inheritable skill that during your turn, this Digimon gains 1000 DP for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon. And whilst that doesn't come up as often as it would in something like Rosemon control, it can still come up, which is why I love 4 copies of Kabuterimon, especially if they've attacked a lot last turn. That's still a lot of suspended Digimon they have, and that is a lot of power your Digimon are going to gain. Moving on to the Ultimates, I play 4 copies of Lilymon, and then we have 3 copies of Akubamon, and then finally the 1 copy of Cherrymon. Lilymon is just good for suspending your opponent's Digimon because it has the inheritable skill when attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon without blocker. It does come up quite a lot more than you think it would, and then being able to suspend something with Lilymon and then have something else attack into that suspended Digimon to get rid of it. It does come up, it's a nice interaction, and honestly, as I should have said at the beginning of the video, which I didn't, Green Digimon, they are cheap to evolve into, usually Ultimates in other decks. 3 costs to evolve into, Lilymon, 2 to evolve into, Akubamon, 2 to evolve into, and then we also have Cherrymon, 2 to evolve into. just a really cheap cost-wise deck. You can actually go from Digi-Egg to Mega if you have 5 memory at the beginning of your turn. It is phenomenal. Anyway, with a Coolmon, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon by balance of fights, gain a memory. Pretty nice inheritable skill, does come up a lot as well. I do like 3 of it as well. 4 seemed a bit too much, and I wanted at least 1 Cherrymon in the deck. Originally I was playing 2 Akumamon, 2 Cherrymon, but 3 Akumamon seems like the right number. And then 1 Cherrymon because it is that additional blocker. That's all I really have to say about it. It's like Edramon, it can attack for free, which is quite nice if you need it. And then moving on to the Mega Digimon. We have 4 copies of Titamon himself being the name of the deck. And then finally we have 3 copies of Puppetmon. So now Titamon, big 12k beta, 2 to Volin, 2 10 to hard play. Pretty solid card. 12k vanillas are insane. And a deck that can turbo them out and then give them boost with effects like Agumon, Lilymon to suspend stuff, Akumamon to gain memory cover, Terrymon to gain extra DP, can lead to some very, very powerful plays. And then Puppetmon, it's more of a defensive play in the deck, but hey, it stalls for green to get going. That's really what it's about, and it does give you that extra memory when you attack with it. And that is why I love it at 3. Originally I was playing 1 copy of Rosemon, but honestly I'd rather have the 3rd puppet. Anyway, moving on to the Tamers, I run 2 copies of Izzy, and then 2 copies of Mimi. Now these cards are absolutely crazy. They make green better than people say it is. And coming from someone who's lost a lot of matches to green, I can see why. But anyway, with Izzy, if you have a level 5 or higher Digimon to play, you can suspend this Tamer to reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Digimon, add it to your hand, otherwise place it on the bottom of the deck. You only play 6 options, 4 Tamers, so that's like 10 cards. That's like a 5th of your deck. And even then, that's not much. You rarely hit something like a Flower Cannon or a Hornbuster or a Terrace Cluster or another Tamer with this card. You rarely do. And the times it comes up, that's unfortunate, but hey, getting that extra advantage can come in handy. And then with Mimi, she's the memory Tamer, so if you have 2 or less memory at the beginning of your turn, you set it to 3. But what makes Mimi amazing is that you can suspend her to either hatch another Digi-Egg or move a Digimon in the raising area out to your field, which helps the deck spam. It helps them get so much more advantage over your opponent, helps them move faster, and come step 1.5, Mimi is going to be insane because we get cards like Ceresmon. I'm looking forward to playing green at 1.5, cannot lie there. But yeah, that's really all there is to it. 2 of each because I do feel like 2 is honestly the best number of each to play. Anyway, moving on to the option cards. We have 3 copies of Flower Cannon, then we have 2 copies of Terrace Cluster, and then finally the 1 card I'm still testing out, Hornbuster. So Flower Cannon, I definitely think that it is too much to play for this card. You don't want to see it in your hand at all, and if not at all, you rarely want to see it in your hand. It's true to play, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, but where this card really shines is the security stack. Because its security effect is suspend all of your opponent's Digimon without blocker. Like, okay, you can imagine how crazy that is, right? Your opponent's got this like full field of guys that can end you, and then your first flip over there is Flower Cannon. All their stuff's gone. Any potential they've had to win this game is completely obliterated, and yeah, Flower Cannon is just... See, card, I've had games where it's like... I don't think I mentioned it in the Tyrannomon deck profile, the Red Tyrannomon deck profile last week. But yeah, I've drawn Flower Cannon so many times. 3 of it in my hand. You don't want to see 3 of it in your hand, so I like playing 3. Whilst there is the chance that you'll still draw 3 in your hand, it's less likely to happen since I'm not playing 4 of the card. And then Terrace Cluster, return when your opponent suspend Digimon to the bottom of the deck. Pretty nice card, especially if you can Flower Cannon to suspend one of their biggest threats. Drop down the Terrace Cluster, sure they'll get a lot of memory, but they've lost probably one of their best cards. It's great, and you can do this for free if you flip this over in security. Any more than 2 felt like a bit much, I'm going to say that right now. And with Hornbuster, it's essentially the Shadow Wing of the deck. One of your Digimon gets 3000 DP until the end of the turn. But what I love about Hornbuster and why I love it so much more than Shadow Wing is its security effect, where you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and then add this card to your hand. So you can suspend one of your opponent's biggest threats, add Hornbuster to your hand, and then next turn you can use Hornbuster, power one of your Digimon by 3k, and then swing over your opponent's threat. That's the interaction I love about this card, and you're always going to be on at least one memory, so hey, you can still attack with something. It's not bad, I do love it. But anyway, that is going to bring me to the end of the deck profile. If you guys enjoyed this deck profile and or have any feedback, leave it in the comment section below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. There's also a link to my Twitter in the description box below, so follow me on there for more updates and uploads. So let me know what decks you want to see on the channel in the future. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here for now. So until next time, stay frosty.